Okay, thank you so much, Paul. I think we can make a start then.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for having me this morning. Thanks for the introduction as well. So my name is Paul Tunnicliffe. I'm the technical advisor for City and Guilds for the automotive, the transport sector, if you like, which includes motor vehicle, it includes marine and a little bit of rail as well. So what that means is basically I'm here to support customers and colleagues wherever you might be around the transport portfolio. So obviously, as you're probably aware, we're now about to go live with a new, well, we can call it an update, but actually it's a new qualification because it's changing to a new number. So it's going from 4290 to 7290. And there's some new electric vehicle qualifications as well, which I'm going to share with you as we go through today. And then obviously, it's your opportunity to ask me questions. We can have a look on the website. We can see where the qualification handbooks are and things like that. So you'll see on that screen there's a little bit of an introduction to me, but just on the left there, that's our industry manager, Mike Nightingale. He's not joining us today. That's just to make you aware of who the industry manager is for the transport portfolio. So we'll get cracking then. So what's changing with the 7290? So what we've tried to do, as you can see there, is we've tried to keep the numbers, if you like, the POS number we call it. We've tried to keep them familiar, and we've just changed the first number. So what you may remember from 4290, so you might have used the level 2 or the level 3 before, or maybe the certificate. So the level 2 diploma used to be 4290 12, so now it's going to be 7290, and then obviously 7290 13 for the level 3. So we've done that on purpose to try so that you can quickly see the difference between which one you're using, whether you're using the old version or whether you're using the new version. And as you can see from there, these are actually due to go live very, very soon. So most of the documents are on the website already. The only thing you won't find on the website is we're just putting the finishing touches to the assessment packs, so the ones that you use with the learners. But everything else is on there, and we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. So the handbooks are on there. There's some sample knowledge tests, and there's some other documents to do with exam spec and things like that. The titles should be familiar, so that they haven't really changed. So you can see clearly what level and whether it's a certificate or a diploma. Now, what we have done that's new is we've decided to add optional electric vehicle units. So you can see there, if somebody's doing a level 1 or a level 2, they can opt to do an electric vehicle level 1 unit, which is actually a test. That's the number there, 601. And that is actually an exam, and it's a basic awareness of electric vehicles. So you would have to do a little bit of preparation for that test. So maybe a little bit of study on the difference between a conventionally powered vehicle and a electric vehicle. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. If somebody's doing a level 3, what we've decided to do is we've decided to make, you can see in bold there, the level 1 basic awareness mandatory. So they must achieve that extra exam. And we've done that because we feel that, if somebody's studying at level 3, then they should at least have a basic awareness of the difference between a petrol or a diesel powered vehicle compared with an electric vehicle. And we've also decided to add level 2 or even level 3, or one of our other qualifications, which is ADAS, which you might have heard about. That's Advanced Driver Assist Systems, and again we'll look at that in a minute. So there is options to actually do a higher level electric vehicle units within the diploma of the level 3. So you may be wondering, do we need to do any extra registration for any of those? Well, if you're doing them within that POS, so if you register somebody, for example, on 729012, you can choose to do the electric vehicle unit, and that doesn't cost any extra for registration. It's part of the registration for the 729012. So these are all the electric vehicle qualifications which we're still working on. As you can see, some of them are available now. So these ones down from here down to here, so level 1 to level 3, they're available now. Very, very soon in June, we're going to be releasing this level 4 awarding diagnosis and rectification of faults in electric and hybrid vehicles. And then hopefully during the summer, we're also going to design these level 3 and level 4 hydrogen fuel cell versions. So those are still in development as we speak. But as part of this update, if you like, to the 7000 series, excuse me, we have decided to update the electric vehicle qualifications. So all the way from level 1, which is this one here, 729001, which is a simple awareness knowledge test. So you'll see that number there. So if you remember there's the number 601 that you can do at level 1 or level 2. It's the same test, if you like, the same knowledge test that makes up the basic awareness qualification for electric and high energy vehicles. Then at level 2, we do 2 units. So we do a knowledge test, which is 602, and then we do a skills assessment, which is actually involves making the vehicle safe. So powering down an electric vehicle is part of the skills assessment on that particular qualification there. There is this one as well, which is a different level 2, which is around the hazard management of electric vehicles. So this is knowledge only, but it's a slightly different knowledge test that's designed for personnel who may be working in the accident repair sector, or maybe their job is to go to vehicle breakdowns on the road. And it's so that they're aware if they attend a breakdown or accident that's involved an electric vehicle, they're aware of the hazards and they know what to look for, where the dangers are in recovering a vehicle, such as an electric or a hybrid vehicle. Then the level 3, which is where not only does the candidate need to learn about powering the vehicle down, they also get involved in removing or replacing a high voltage component as well. So they have to prove that they can power the vehicle down, they know what to do that correctly. And then the other skills assessment will be to remove and replace a high voltage part. And then there's a knowledge test to go with that, which they'll do online. So those are available now, and all the because these are live, everything's there on the website. So all the assessment packs, the qualification handbooks are there if you want to have a read through. And again, we've provided sample tests for all these as well, so you can see the level of the knowledge for these qualifications. And like I say, very soon, The next one that's going to be going live is this one here, the level 4. And the level 4 has 2 units within it. The first unit is around diagnostic skills. So being able to diagnose faults on an electric vehicle. So there'll be an assessment to do around that. And then the difference between the level 3 and the level 4 is mainly around this battery side. So testing high voltage batteries, being able to identify if there's a problem with a battery, if there's a problem with a cell. So there's a bit more equipment needed for to be able to deliver that particular qualification. And then there's 2 knowledge tests to go with that one as well. And then the 2 hydrogen vehicle qualifications, which are coming very soon. Would you like to say we're going to work on those during the summer and hopefully have them live later on this year. And that's really to try and future-proof what we're doing in this particular maintenance and repair area, because we know that in the future, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, whether it's light vehicles, whether it's buses, whether it's trucks, could be plant equipment. It could even be electric motorcycles. These qualifications will be a good stepping stone for anybody who's working on any type of electric vehicle. And then the last one that's new to this suite is something called an ADAS qualification, which is Advanced Driver Assist Systems. And this is to cover off anybody who's involved in, who may need to reset or recalibrate the advanced driver assist systems that are available on vehicles. This type of technology has been around for a few years now, and it could be anything from electric windscreen wipers that come on by themselves. It could be lighting systems that come on when it goes dark. It could be crash avoidance technology, so where the vehicle thinks that it's going to run into the back of another car, it can apply the brakes itself when it gets too close to the other car if the driver hasn't applied the brakes. And some of the systems can also take over the steering of the vehicle and move the vehicle into correctly back into lane. All this tends to work from quite an advanced technology using radar sensors, vehicle speed sensors, other things that are on the vehicle. And it's quite a complicated system, and it involves, as you can see there, special target boards and diagnostic equipment to recalibrate that system when it needs to be recalibrated. And quite often, if the front of the vehicle has been damaged, or maybe somebody's had to take off the bumper of the vehicle to repair something, these parts then need recalibrating. So that's what this qualification does. This qualification and the electric vehicle qualifications, by the way, they're classed as short courses. So they don't have a huge amount of guided learning hours. You know, they could start off around 15 and maybe go up to about 40 or 50 GLH, depending on the level. So they can be, depending on the level, they could be delivered in, 2 or 3 days with somebody who's already got prior knowledge. So like I said, and we'll have a look at the website in a minute, but we've set up a new website under 7290 where you can find all the documents in terms of handbooks, sample assessments, etc., test specification. But as well as that, behind the scenes, what we're doing as well is we are updating our Smart Screen offer. Smart Screen is the platform that we have where we store a lot of support resources in terms of schemes of work, lesson plans, and some e-learning as well on there with a company called Electude. So we work with this company, and they help us to build some really good quality e-learning onto our smart screen system that customers can use to help to deliver these qualifications. And as you can see there, there's some really nice imagery, and it's very interactive. So you know, you can get learners to answer questions, and then they could label a diagram, or they could move this multimeter. You know, it's very, very interactive rather than just looking at the screen. So we find that's quite popular with a lot of our customers. This is just a screenshot just showing you all the a lot of the sample assessments that are brand new for this suite of qualifications. So we've been through all the tests, and the tests will change a little bit, the actual the live tests. So because they're changing a little bit, the technology's moved on. We've decided to redo all the sample tests, which you can download from the website and use. And as well as that, the paperwork, so the assessment packs, have had a bit of a refresh, and they're going to be presented to you very soon on the website. The electric vehicle ones are there now. This is a screenshot of one of the electric vehicle assessment packs. As you can see, all the recording documentation that you need there for you as an assessor is available, and on the right there you can see the paperwork that the candidates might need, so a job card and a form so they can record any verbal questioning that they might be given. And then for the diplomas, the same again. So we're updating the assessment packs with new images that are a little bit more up to date, in colour as well. And the forms themselves are kind of going to a portrait setting rather than the landscape that we used to have, just to have a bit of a refresh on the packs. We will be providing these as well in Word, so that you can use them on a PC if you want, or use them on a tablet, or put them into an e-portfolio or something like that. Again, that's just a screenshot of a recording form where you can see quite easy to fill out ticky boxes, and then some feedback for the candidates on the bottom there. Tracking sheets and standardized questions as well. And to go with all these qualifications, we are providing digital credentials. So these are something that City and Guilds are keen to provide for all the learners now. So depending on what qualification you do, you will get a special digital credential that you can that the learner can achieve when they complete the course, and they will get an email to a platform where they can access this digital credential. And then if they want to, they can share it around social media to say that to promote what they've done. It does have some other quite interesting usability within this platform, where, as well as being able to share what they've done online, they can also use some other functions to search locally for automotive related jobs in different areas around the world. So yeah, it's a nice, it's almost like instead of just, I mean, they will still receive a paper certificate, but this is a modern way of being able to share success, if you like, by having these digital credentials. You might see them on the bottom of some of our email signatures, and if you click on it, then it opens and it tells you all the different things that the students done to achieve that credential. So I think I'll just, sorry, the last thing I wanted to mention was what you need to do to actually deliver these qualifications. So if you're already a customer who's been delivering the 4000s, the 4290 series, then what you will be able to do is to do a fast track approval using a form that is going to appear on our website very soon, in a couple of, probably in the next week or so. It's going to be coming onto the website, and you will be able to complete that form and tell us what qualifications you've delivered previously and whether it matches to the, so for example, if you've been delivering the 4290 12 previously, then that means that you will be able to deliver the 7290 12 as well. Or if you've been delivering the 4290 13, then you will be able to deliver the new 7290 13, and you will also be able to deliver the lower levels, so the 7290 12 and the 7290 11. So you don't need to go through a full approval unless it's something new that you're adding to your offer. And you can do this with the electric vehicle qualifications as well. So you may have used the older versions in the past, which were the 4290 70 and 71. That was the level 2 and level 3 electric vehicle and hybrid vehicle maintenance qualification. So if you've delivered that in the past, then you'll be able to find the fast track form on the website and you can fill that out. If it's something new that you've not, so let's say you're interested in delivering the electric vehicle, but you've never offered that before, and you want to go for approval, then you will do a QAP, a qualification approval, in the normal way on the walled garden. And then obviously we will do our quality checks to make sure that we're happy that you can deliver that qualification. So that's the end of that little presentation there. Can you all still see, can you see that I'm on the website now?
Yes, we
can. You still see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions before I start going into having a look around the website? Please feel free to ask away if you've got any questions so far.
There's nothing in the chat at the moment. Okay.
If you want to come on the screen as well, you can
yes.
do.
Okay.
I'm putting up my hand here. Can I talk?
Yes. Sorry. Please do continue.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm very impressed, Paul. You know, you've come at the right time. I'm doing research on the options to petrol and diesel. And I'm quite aware that electric vehicles, especially in developed countries, are being developed, and people are migrating, abandoning petrol and diesel due to pollution.
Yes.
I think the biggest challenge we might face for now, though you've indicated that there are those fast track trainings that will be offered to people offering these courses, we've not paid much attention, especially on our side here in Africa, to these changes, you know. But personally, as a researcher, I'm very, very impressed that you brought it up. But on top of that, maybe this lesson, you can send it to us. Yeah. I think Peter and Lucy generally have our emails. And as an automotive expert myself, I'm actually an energy expert now. My master's is in energy engineering. I would love to be in constant touch with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for that positive feedback. That's really good. And yes, of course, you can have the presentation. We can make sure that that's sent out to you. And please get in touch. You know what I mean? You'll have my email address. It's on the presentation. You can get in touch if you've got any questions. But I guess, you know, it's the same everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're delivering these new qualifications. Everybody's starting to think about electric vehicle. But obviously, one of the challenges is having the equipment to be able to deliver it. And that's the same for everybody, where anybody is in the world. You know, over here in the United Kingdom, it is a challenge for some of the training centres and the colleges to find the money to invest in the equipment. You know, some are able to do it, some aren't, but you're absolutely right. You know, in the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a big emphasis on electric vehicle, and we do need to start to include that in what we do when we teach in mechanics. You know, because there's more and more possibility of a mechanic coming into contact with an electric vehicle now. You know, or even if it's just an electric bicycle, or even an electric motorbike. You know. And they just need to be careful. We need to make sure that they understand about the high voltages and they don't get injured. So just quickly on the website then. So those of you that are probably familiar with the website, there's a number of different ways you can use this website to find what you need. I mean, I tend to use this search box here. You know, if you know the number, it will take you straight there. So if I put 7290 in there and I click search, then it brings up the various, and as you can see there, 7290, it's the first one that comes up. So we can go that way. Or what sometimes is useful is if you put transport in there, in the search box, then you can navigate to the transport landing page, which is where we do put a lot of our documents, including our newsletters. So this is one way to find all the different qualifications that fall under transport. So it tends to default over onto the qualification side, which is good. And you can click international here if you want to find out what's available. So you can see there's the new 7290 there. There's the older one that we're closing very soon. And just to point out as well, that there are some other ones. There's the 3902, which is still available, and obviously the body and paint qualifications are still available as well. And then the other ones that are part of the transport. But not a lot of people know. Can you see here? It says key documents, and that's where we put our newsletters in there. So you can see we brought one out just recently in April, and these are really interesting to read just to find out what's going on around automotive. So if I click on there, it brings the newsletter, so you can have a look at that, and there is some interesting links and things on there that you can look at. If you didn't know that these are being done regularly, it might be because you're not getting the email alerts. So one of the things that I would like you to do as a takeaway today is if you go on any City and Guilds website, so cityandguilds.com, and if you go down here, can you see here where it says emails? Yeah, email updates. Click on that, and then you can sign up for the emails here, and it doesn't take very long, a couple of minutes, and you can click on the transport, click on motor vehicles, and then you will get the regular emails coming into your inbox. So let's just have a quick look then. Let's go back to 7290, just to show you where everything is. So if I click onto documents there, so it's very neat and tidy. Everything is in the right folder. So if I go on, let's say I go on level 2, so I have the center documents here. So these are the handbooks. So as you can see there, we've got the handbook for the diploma, and we have the handbook for the safe maintenance of electric vehicles, and we have the handbook for the hazard management. So if I go on the diploma, these are all new, by the way, obviously. So this is where you can find out what you need to teach for the 12 or for the 17 for the certificate. So the bit that's probably the most useful for you is let me find the page here. So this is page, what page are we on here? Page 7. So this is the structure. So this tells you what units. If you're doing the full level 2 diploma, then it's telling you that you need to do all these units here, and you need to choose one of these optional units as well. And if we look at the units, they're all here. It tells you all the titles. And then if we go down to the bottom here, there's that electric vehicle unit. If you want to do that with your candidates, you can do it. You can choose it. You can elect to do that unit there. So if you wanted to look at the level 1 electric vehicle to see what's involved, then you can look at the handbook here. So if you wanted to prepare your students for the 601 unit, then this will tell you all about what that particular unit is. So we're saying here we're recommending around about 8 hours to teach this unit, so not very long, and the knowledge is right down the bottom here. So this tells you all about the different things that you would need to teach, and this is everything that is included within those the 8 hours that you need to teach. And then obviously you can have a look at the if we go into assessment materials for electric vehicle, there's the sample assessment. So that's the sample knowledge test that you can open there. You will need a password for that to get into that, which you can get from the wallguard. Okay, and then if we go into light vehicle for level 1, there you can see the level 1 not sample tests for the diploma, and again for the level 2 light vehicle, there's all the sample tests, the new sample knowledge tests, which you can use for a practice with your learners. And it goes on the same for level 3 assessment materials, ADAS, electric vehicle, light vehicle, center documents, again the handbooks. That's for the electric vehicle, that's the diploma there. And then when we have the level 4, it will be here. Obviously it's not there yet because we haven't finished it. The other one, just quickly to show you, which is useful here, is the test spec. Let's just go in and have a look at that. What this is a document that explains how many questions there is for every exam, and it also tells you so for example here on this knowledge of routine maintenance, which is a level 2 exam, it tells you that to pass it you need to have 15 marks, and merit is 18, and a distinction is 20 or above. Oh, well, it will be 20. Get them all. So it tells you here, oh sorry, it's out of 25. So you'd have to get 20 out of 25 to get a distinction. But what this is useful for is it tells you where the questions are coming from in the actual knowledge content. So you can see there's 20 questions coming from all this area here, but there are 5 questions coming from just these 3 performance criteria. So that's really useful because you can look up 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3 in the qualification handbook, and you know that there's 5 questions. So you can sit down with your learners, you can say, okay, can we figure out what question you might be asked around the importance of carrying out light vehicle maintenance, so regular servicing, etc. So it's a useful document. It tells you how the tests are broken down. Let's just see if we can find the electric vehicle one for the 601. It will be in here somewhere. I think it's probably down the bottom. Here we go. So there's that 601 unit. And you can see there that there's 15 questions and you can only pass, there's no merit, as long as you get 9 questions correct, you will pass it. And it's showing you here that the most of the questions, 7 of the questions, are coming from the differences between electric and non-electric vehicles, surprisingly, and how to identify them. So you would go back to your qualification handbook and you can look at those knowledge criteria. And again, there's 5 questions from here and 3 questions from the hazards associated with working on electric vehicles. So it's a really useful document when you're helping to prepare your students for the tests. On the information tab, this is where you can find just general information such as the accreditation numbers, what type of qualification it is, etc. Whether there is smart screen available, which is where we put all the resources, etc. So this is where you can get your full titles if you need them. Has that been useful, guys? Have you got any questions about the website? Anything you want to ask me?
Feel free to come off mute if you have a question after you've raised your hand.
There's 6 messages in the chat.
Well, they were all, yeah, I've responded to them.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on the chat so that I can I'll let you know if there's any questions from there. So currently no questions. Maybe just something that we need to also just inform centers about, and a question from me, Paul, in terms of FAQs. Do we have frequently asked questions, question bank? That I know that a lot of our centers couldn't join, and that's why I'm recording the session as well, just so that they have guidance in terms of frequently asked questions. Do we have a frequently asked questions bank?
We don't tend to have an FAQ for these particular. I think because most of the information is within the qualification handbook. But I would love for the centers to use me. That's what I'm here for. Please, if you have any questions around the way that you deliver the qualification, you can get in touch with me. That's what part of the service that we offer at City and Guilds, that you can contact the technical advisor. And if you're ever wondering how to get, so if I put technical, let me just share my screen again. Sorry. So if I put in here, can you see this? I'm on the website again.
Not your screen is not shared yet, Paul, unless I'm not seeing it. There we go. There we go. Yes.
So can you see the website? Yes.
Yes.
So if you put technical advisor in the search, you can find all of us. There's all the technical advisors are in here. So there's me. So if you click on that there, then it has my it tells you how to get in touch with me, my email address there. And also there is another email address, which is a general one for automotive as well, which our industry manager can see. But if you want to find another technical advisor for another qualification, you know, building or business skills, you can find all the technical advisors in here. So that's quite useful. And please, you know, get in touch if you do have any questions that you or anything that you're not sure about.
Thanks, Paul, for clarity. It helps us all to know these things and so forth. Just a follow-up question in terms of the current 4290-22, those qualifications that has a registration end date for 2023. And I know this is going to be a question that comes to us as the business development team. So we're expecting the replacement qualification to be 7290-22.
Yeah, okay. I believe the dates actually I think are all correct now. They've been changed. So anything that is light vehicle, so light vehicle, is changed into 7290.
Only light vehicle.
But only light. So if anyone's doing heavy vehicles, or so the 20, 22, 23, they will be staying 4290.
Okay.
And if anybody is doing any of the vehicle refinishing, the body and paints, that will be staying 4291. So it's light vehicle only that's changing for from June onwards. The reason why it's only light vehicle is because there was a new occupational standard that was introduced, and that's what we're basing these new qualifications off. So, but again, you know, if anybody's not sure, you know, you can get in touch with us, and we'll make sure you're on the right qualification.
Thank you, Paul.
Hi, Jenna. There is a. I think there is some. Yeah, I think Rob has posted something in the chat. A question.
I can see. Was that at 10:34? Or Cassius, if you can see the question, will you please raise it?
Is it the one where it says specs was approved for 4290 2021? Will there be an additional fee? No, there's no fee. No. So yeah, I see. So you guys got approved for the 4290 in 2021. Yeah, you can just fast track, and there won't be any fee at all for that. So that's good news. And also, you will keep your claim status. Can a centre who was offering 390501 to 12 go for fast track? Unfortunately not, because the 3905 is a different qualification altogether. So you would need to go for a full approval if you've not delivered anything other than 3905 before. But we'll help you as best we can with that to see if we can get you approved.
Thank you, Paul.
I think we're finished, aren't we?
Yeah. Are there any other questions that I might have missed? Okay, if not, thank you so much for the assistance, and this is the benefit of having access to technical advisors, and thank you so much for repeating this on the session, so that our centers know that they do have that additional support from sitting guilds in terms of questions from technical advisors. So yes. As the head of Africa and my business development team, you know, people need to understand that we're not subject matter experts, and we do provide information, you know, if and when it's needed, but it's always good to have that technical expertise to explain things to our centers on their level. So I thank you for your time. I thank everybody for the time, and thank you also for encouraging our centers to sign up for the updates, because that is a very important aspect. If you need to keep abreast of changes that are happening, it's always good to get it firsthand, and that is how you get information well in advance in terms of, you know, what's changing, what has been updated, and also some crucial information that just keeps you abreast of, you know, what's happening in and around the specific sector as well.
Yeah, that's a really good idea to sign up for those because, you know, we do send you know, dates and things like that when things might change, or if there's a new document, or for example, you know, when the level 4 goes live, or even when we put the assessment packs onto the website, I will send an alert through the email so that everybody knows that those final documents are there. So yeah, it's worth signing up for that. It'll only take you a few minutes to do that, but other than that, thank you very much for having me taking up your time today. I hope you found it really useful, and if anybody wants to get in touch individually, like I say, I'm always.
Ooh. Is it just me or did it?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you guys. I will be circulating the recording, but thank you.
That's simple, straightforward, informative.